Hi all, it's Karen and
Pluto!
here for Karen and Bluto's on another review channel with another movie review. This is another one Bluto did not care to watch with me,
Sorry.
but I'm going to do it anyways. This movie is called Us.
It's about me and you.
No, not quite. From 2019. I think it was out of either January or February. Rated R, hour and 56 minutes. So let's get into the review. So basically it starts out that it's like there's a TV playing. It's like 1986. They're talking about Hands Across America, which I chuckled because I have talked to Bob about Hands Across America, and he does not remember it. I actually participated in it.
I remember that. I saw it from space.
You did?
It was weird.
But it was just kind of funny because I said something to him about that, and he was like, what are you talking about? And I remember doing it with a friend of mine's family.
He don't seem like he would do that.
Yeah, that was back in the day. So anyways, we cut away to this African-American family. They're at a carnival boardwalk type thing. It's the girl's birthday. So the dad's playing a game. The mom goes to the bathroom, and she ends up wandering off. She walks down to the beach, is kind of looking around. She's carrying this candy apple with her, and she turns around and sees almost like this hall of mirror maze type thing. And it's getting ready to rain, so she walks in. It starts pouring down rain, and she's walking through trying to get out, and the power goes off.
Well, she's on the beach.
Yeah, well, she's like in this house of mirrors that's like below the boardwalk.
Oh, I remember those.
So she's trying to leave, and she can't figure out her way out because of all the mirrors, you know, and everything. Well, then she's walking, and all of a sudden she sees this image of herself, but it's her back. And then it cuts to the opening credits.
Okay.
So, basically the opening credits, it's just showing everything, and there's all these rabbits in cages, and it looks like they're in like a classroom or something. And then it cuts away to present day.
Is this like a drug movie?
No.
Okay.
No, it makes sense as you go. So, there's this family riding in a car, and they arrive at their destination, which is like a cabin or a summer house or something. And the mother basically is the adult girl that was at the beginning of the movie. Her name was Addie, I believe.
Addie?
Addie. Probably Addison, but she went by Addie.
Okay.
So, she's sitting there while they're eating, kind of having some flashbacks, PTSD stuff. Her husband, Gabe, says about going to the beach. She doesn't really want to go to the beach because of the trauma she had as a child. Eventually, they decide to go to the beach because they're meeting up with friends of theirs. There's two children. Jason's the son, and Zora, I want to say, is the daughter.
Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, not that Jason.
Oh.
And basically, they're, you know, bickering back and forth. Typical sibling rivalry stuff while they're on their way to the beach. They end up going to Santa Cruz, which it ends up being the same beach boardwalk that she was on earlier in the movie.
Cool place.
They meet up with these friends, kind of just hang out for a little bit, and then they end up back at home. And basically, Addie starts having a panic attack, and it's like she wants to leave. Something doesn't feel right. She wants to get out of there. And then she kind of starts talking to Gabe about what happened. So apparently, she had never told him fully what happened. She was diagnosed with PTSD by a doctor. Like they show some flashbacks with her sitting in a room while her parents are talking to, I don't know if it was a psychologist, psychiatrist, and they're discussing, you know, what they can do to help her get past all this. And she says about seeing the girl that looked exactly like her. So the girl actually turned around.
Maybe it was a twin.
We'll see.
Oh, sorry, I spoiled it.
No.
Oh.
It's interesting.
Okay.
So Gabe's like, do you have a sister you didn't? And she's like, no, you know, going on. Well, then while they're talking, eventually the power goes out.
Power goes out a lot.
Yeah, well,
here.
Yeah. So then Jason comes to the room and tells them that there's a family standing in their driveway. And they're all looking like, what? So basically they go down, everyone goes downstairs. There is this family with two adults and two children just standing out in the driveway holding hands.
Maybe they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
And Gabe's like, oh, I'm going to go out and talk to him. Well, Addie grabs Zora's phone. If that's her wrong name, I apologize. Her daughter had
You're saying Zorro.
Zora, I think her name was. It was a weird name, and it might be wrong. But she gets her daughter's cell phone and calls the police, and the police are like, okay, we're coming. And Gabe goes out and tries to talk to them.
What the heck was that? Oh.
It's Chloe. Sorry, guys.
Sick.
Sorry, guys. That really distracted us. So Gabe's like, telling them to get out of there. Well, eventually he goes back in and he's like, call the police. And Addie's like, it's going to be about 15 minutes till they can get here.
Jeez.
So he grabs the baseball bat, says he's like trying to be all big and bad when he goes, I gave you the opportunity to leave and I don't want to have to hurt you, but the police have been called. All of a sudden, the one character like snaps or something and two of them go one way, the one starts coming at him, and then we don't know where the other one goes.
Who's at him?
At him.
Oh.
And Gabe gets back in the house, and they're trying to break in.
Jeez.
They're basically, I put orange jumpsuits, but they say later they're red, but they look orange to me in the video. Basically, this other family gets into the house and kind of traps Addie, Gabe, and the two kids. Basically, at one point, the female character, who looks exactly like Addie, as do the rest of the people, they look exactly like the family members, tells Addie to chain herself, to tether herself to the coffee table. Basically, this woman starts talking about, like, the shadows and going on, and she can talk, but the other ones just make noises. Which I was kind of keeping that in mind as I was watching, and it kind of made sense later on. So basically what it comes down to is the shadows, I guess, is what they're supposed to be their shadows, which I thought was weird because they were casting shadows later in the movie. But anyways, they want to basically take over their lives. So they're going to kill all of them. So the family members get all split up. Eventually, Dad is able to kill the male guy that's after him. Zora ends up escaping the girl that's chasing her, and Jason traps the boy that's supposed to be him in the one closet that locks, and they eventually are able to escape. They decide to go, they're going to head to their friend's house that they were with at the beach earlier. So the movie cuts away to them, and the wife, I think her name was Kitty, is yelling to her husband about, check outside, I'm hearing noises, something's going on. Well, she eventually comes downstairs because he's like, I don't want to do anything, I'm drunk, we got to leave tomorrow. And so she's eventually downstairs, and they have twin teenage girls. Well, all of a sudden, these two girls come out of the room dressed in these jumpsuits and kill the twin girls, and eventually kill the mother and the father. The white family, I guess the best way to put it.
Is that their last name?
No, they were a white family, Caucasian family that they met with at the beach. No. So eventually, when Addie and her family get to the house, the dad, Shadow being whatever the heck he is, comes, and they're like, oh shit, this isn't them. Well, the teenage girls show up and pull Addie into the house. The dad starts chasing Gabe. And then the kids eventually go in the house. The daughter, like, beats the crap and, like, kills the two twin girls. And then eventually they rescue their mom. But what's interesting is...
Okay.
The shadow people, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay.
If the regular person does something, they do exactly those behaviors. Like, there was one point earlier where Gabe was, like, pushing his glasses up, and the dad shadow was doing the same move. Comes into play later.
I know what I would do.
So, basically, once they are able to escape, they try calling the police while they're at the house. The line's busy. Well, then they turn on the news, and all of a sudden, there's all these news stories about these people in these red jumpsuits causing chaos and killing people. They don't know what's going on. Why is this happening? So,
The Purge.
Yeah. I never saw The Purge. No.
Oh, okay.
But, Gabe is saying, well, why don't we just stay here? We're going to be safe. We have food. We have electricity. There's a generator. And Addie's like, no, you don't understand. They are basically us. They're going to know what we're doing. They're going to be able to follow us. They're going to be able to find us. So they decide to escape. And they're trying, I don't know why they tried to go back to their summer place, but eventually they get there, and the boy that's supposed to be the shadow Jason, I guess. Sorry, my nose is running. Is standing there, and Addie gets out of the car to kind of confront him. She tells everybody else to stay in. Well, he starts doing these moves, and Jason realizes it's a trap. Well, here when everyone else gets out of the car, there's like a line of gasoline that goes up to the car, and the shadow Jason pulls out a match. So basically, Jason starts. He's like, I got this. So he stands with his arms out and keeps walking backwards because there's a car behind them that's burning. And basically the shadow one of him keeps walking and basically gets burned in the fire. Okay. But then as Jason's back, the shadow mom of Addie grabs Jason and takes off with him. So Addie kind of figures out, like, is trying to figure out, okay, where is he at? And then she realizes how close they are to the boardwalk, so she returns to the Hall of Mirrors. And she eventually finds this doorway that leads down. So she's going down while she's searching for Jason, and all of a sudden all the rabbits are free. And just roaming, like hopping around everywhere, so to speak. So basically, eventually Addie finds the shadow mom, and this shadow mom's kind of talking about what was like to be stuck down below. Something about like they were trying to separate the shadow from the actual person, but they don't understand they can't separate the soul. Like she was just going on and on about this stuff.
Sounds complicated.
And talking about like how, you know, everything down there was like not the same, and it was like there was no love or anything like that. And she was saying, like, basically, while Addie was living above ground, like, the shadow mom was living below, kind of doing the stuff that Addie was doing. And here in the middle of all this, the people realized that Addie, the shadow Addie, was the one that was going to lead them. I wrote it down. She was to deliver them, and she had about the Hands Across America shirt. So she started planning for years. So they all started wearing, like, the same outfits and practicing and carrying these scissors and all this stuff.
All right.
And meanwhile, Addie's like, I just want my son. I want to get out of here. And basically the shadow mom's like, no, I'm going to kill you and take over your life. So they basically start fighting. The shadow mom's using like the ballet moves that Addie learned over the years. But eventually Addie kills the shadow mom. And what happens, she finds Jason. So they are getting ready to escape, but all the shadow people are like literally outside holding hands and forming like a link so nobody can get out. And basically what happens is Gabe and Zora, or whatever her name was, they're in an ambulance. So Addie gets Jason to the ambulance and they leave in the ambulance. And for some reason, everyone's looking, like Addie's just sitting here and she starts remembering more. And here what happened is when she was in the mirrors when she was younger, the shadow one of her choked her out, took her downstairs, and switched places.
No.
So it was actually the shadow Addie that survived. And I think that's kind of why the shadow mom could talk where the others couldn't, because she was the actual Addie. Because she was like the only one out of the shadow people that could talk. And then, like I said, they're forming a link, and that's kind of it. This movie was done by Jordan Peele, who did Get Out.
Get Out.
I loved Get Out. I thought it was a very good movie. This one, it took me a little bit longer to get into it.
How long is this?
Hour and 56.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wow.
So,
that's a little long. It seems like
it was kind of the ending. Movie. The ending is what brought me in to kind of like, okay, this movie was actually pretty decent. It's no Get Out, I will tell you that. But I mean, like I said, he's broaching into horror, so it's kind of, I don't know if I would even consider this. I guess it is. It
doesn't sound like a horror to me.
It's kind of is, but
would it have been better shorter? Cut about a half hour out, or no?
I don't know. I don't think. Because it was like kind of like a couple of the other, like maybe they didn't need the whole beach part, but that was only maybe 5 minutes.
2-hour horror movies are a little too long.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it was kind of with the ending that really grabbed me to be like, okay, this was actually a pretty decent movie.
Okay.
And I mean, sometimes that happens because I know The Village, like I wasn't overly crazy about it until The Secret came out at the end. And I'm like, okay, I like this movie.
Didn't see it.
So that's kind of the way it was with this. I like Get Out a lot more, but I would definitely rewatch this. I want to maybe pick up a few things as well because I'm sure there's probably something I missed in there. because I'm literally watching, like, the movies we're reviewing. I literally watched them back to back to back. So, like I said, it has rewatch value. If you haven't checked it out, maybe just check it out once to see. But, like I said, it was kind of interesting at the end with the surprise with the shadow. I mean, like I said, she was referring to shadows, so that's why I'm calling them shadow people, even though they're just mirror images. I mean, maybe they're mirror people. Who knows?
Who knows?
So, anyways, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, bell icon so you know when we post new content. Share the page. It would be greatly appreciated. Amazon wishlist is up if you want to send us a movie that's on the list. If there's something you want us to review, let us know in the comments. If we cannot get to it, if you're willing to purchase it, I'll add it to the Amazon wishlist. I mean, like I said, no pressure. Just asking if you want to help a little bit, then we appreciate it.
Cool.
My other channel, K-Dog Games, Toys, and More, toy and game reviews over there. This guy pops up over there every so often as well. That's it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.